Welcome, my friends. This is for housewives and students, for CEOs and mechanics, for ministers, politicians, and kings. No one is excluded today. If you can breathe, you qualify. If you can feel, you are already in class. Because leadership is not first a microphone. Leadership is a spirit. You can feel it before you hear it. A true leader steps into a room and the air testifies. People sit up straighter. Confusion quiets. Cynicism loosens its grip. Write this down. Presence precedes pronouncements. Spirit precedes speech. Character precedes charisma. Jesus said, by their fruit you will know them, Matthew 7:16. Not by their flyers, not by their followers, not by their noise. Fruit is silent, but it is not secret. Make a note of this. True leadership is the fragrance of integrity before it is the sound of instruction. You can spray perfume on a corpse and it will still be death. You can give a title to an empty soul and it will still be performance. What did I say? Presence before pronouncements. Let me push this further. Kingdom edition, listen carefully. This is not churchy posturing. Kingdom means authority under assignment and service under sovereignty. It is not religious language. It is royal responsibility. Jesus said, the greatest among you will be your servant, Matthew 23:11. He also said, the kingdom of God is within you, Luke 17:21. That means the first courtroom of leadership is your own soul. Before you open your mouth, your government is already speaking. When the council looked at Peter and John, the scripture says they took note that these men had been with Jesus, Acts 4:13. No credentials, no stage presence exposed their authority. Write this down. True leadership is a settled conscience under a higher king. It is gentle strength because it is standing under an assignment. That's why some people without titles still command rooms and some with titles still beg for attention. Beware, this journey carries a moral warning. Performance leadership is stage deep. True leadership is spirit deep. Ecclesiastes whispers a sober truth. Woe to you, O land, when your king is a child. Ecclesiastes 10:16. A crowned child is still a child. A crowned slave is still a slave. We will not be that. So here's the promise. I will give you, do this today. Behaviors, movements, and meetings, courtesies and corridors, timing, order, stewardship, that practice presence. But first, frame the core question. What reveals leadership before you ever get a title? Write this down. Peace under pressure, order in the ordinary, service without announcement, and self-government. Like a city broken down and without walls is a man who lacks self-control, Proverbs 25:28. Self-control is the loudest quiet language a leader speaks. Do this today. Arrive before time and bring order with you. Your desk, your shoes, your notes. Lower your volume. Raise your listening. Look people in the eye and see them, not their utility. Keep one promise you made to yourself, then keep one you made to another. These are small keys, but keys don't have to be large to open big doors. Say it with me. I am necessary. Now write this down and seal it in your heart. Leadership is first a presence you sense, then a message you hear. Now, let me turn the light on the counterfeit. Make a note of this. Most of the people you call leaders are performers with microphones, not stewards with mandates. They are loud because their souls are quiet. They are seen because their substance is hidden. Write this down. True leadership is not about control. It is about service. Not about applause. It is about assignment. Not about visibility. It is about veracity. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. God inspects essence, while men market image. Performance leadership is stage deep. True leadership is spirit deep. Say that with me. What did I say? Performance seeks attention. Presence carries assignment. Two atmospheres. One drains oxygen from the room. The other brings fresh air. One needs a crowd to feel alive. The other can serve in secret and still be faithful. Jesus warned, beware of practicing your righteousness before other people in order to be seen by them. Matthew 6:1. Performers feed on sight. Servants feed on purpose. Here is a hard warning from wisdom. Woe to you, O land, when your king is a child. Ecclesiastes 10:16. Let me interpret that for our generation. Woe to the land when a slave becomes king. Insecurity, crown becomes cruelty, disguised as confidence. A wounded ego in a royal chair will weaponize the scepter. Proverbs says, a ruler who lacks understanding is a great oppressor. Proverbs 28-16. When a soul remains ungoverned, its authority becomes unsafe. How do you spot the counterfeit? Write this down. Symptoms of performative leadership. Volume without vision. Charisma without character. Visibility without veracity. Noise without navigation. Promises without process. Photos with no fruit. If I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a sounding brass and a clanging cymbal. 1 Corinthians 13:1. A cymbal is impressive for a second, then it's just ringing ears and no direction. And what are the consequences? Exhausted teams, fearful cultures, short-term wins with long-term rot, people walking on eggshells around the throne, metrics growing while trust shrinks. The scripture is practical. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people groan. Proverbs 29:2. Groaning is the soundtrack of performance leadership. Rejoicing is the soundtrack of presence. I sat once with a very visible executive. Cameras loved him. Captions adored him. But in a quiet room, his eyes were restless. I asked him the 3 questions I ask any leader. What is your purpose? What are your non-negotiable principles? Who do you serve with your gift? He stared at the table and said, I serve the brand. That's a crown slave talking. He wore a crown but bowed to an idol called image. So here is your checkup today. Write this down. If you need applause to obey, you're performing. If you punish dissent, you're insecure. If your team fears your mood more than they trust your mission, you are not leading, you are leaking. Close the door and do one act of unseen service. Reduce your volume and increase your vision. Keep a promise, no one will post. What did I say? Performance seeks attention. Presence carries assignment. Choose your atmosphere. Your land is listening. Before we fix your walk, we must fix your worldview. Who taught you charisma? Who told you that leadership is a tone of voice, a spotlight, a fitted suit, and a new accent? Write this down. Before your body changes its signals, your mind must change its model. Romans 12:2 says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Conformity is external pressure. Transformation is internal conviction. True leadership is born from transformation, not performance. Let's unmask the syllabus you didn't know you studied. The Greeks taught the world that leadership is a product of natural endowment, birth traits, providence, charisma. If you were tall, eloquent, aesthetically pleasing, you were born to rule. If you were quiet, common, ordinary, you were born to be ruled. Where did he make you one? That's the question. The Greek baptized personality and called it destiny. But Jesus said, the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them. It shall not be so among you. Matthew 20:25-26. Make a note of this. Charisma without character is cosmetics on an empty jar. Then Rome took the Greek idea and industrialized it. They perfected spectacle triumph parades, purple robes, laurel wreaths, eagles on standards, drums and noise. Authority was staged with regalia so the crowd would confuse volume with vision. Bread and circuses keep them cheering and they won't notice you have no compass. But hear Elijah's lesson. God was not in the wind, nor the earthquake, nor the fire. He came in a still small voice. 1 Kings 19:11-12. Write this down. Noise is not authority. Regalia is not righteousness. Spectacle is not substance. Whoever colonized you convinced you titles over trust, accents over substance, costume over character. They taught you to doubt your own name and worship their label. So we became addicts to letters and layers, honorable, reverend, doctor, MBA, PhD, OBE, alphabet soup, trying to season an empty pot. Listen to a father. The more titles you need, the less you are a leader. Reduce yourself to your first name. Strip the costume and reveal the calling. I threw away a stack of business cards, once thick paper, gold ink. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I had an argument with God. And he whispered, son, I called you by name, not by letters. I wept and I went to work. Write this down. To change your presence, change the philosophy beneath it. John 8:32, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Free from performative scripts, free from cultural hypnosis. Galatians 5:1 says, stand fast therefore in the liberty wherewith Christ has made us free. Stand fast in your assignment, not in your advertisement. Practical steps today. Remove 2 titles from your email signature. Keep your name and your purpose. Speak in your true voice. Stop imitating the accent you think people trust. Trade the costume for competence. Arrive early. Bring order. Keep promises. What did I say? Before your body changes its signals, your mind must change its model. It shall not be so among you. Let the unlearning begin. Now that we have stripped the costume, what remains? The person. And if the person is empty, the suit will still be hollow. Write this down. True leadership is about becoming more than doing. Identity precedes activity. Jesus stood before Pilate and said, for this cause I was born, and for this cause I came into the world. John 18:37. That is identity speaking before activity. Presence is his character made visible through disciplined service to purpose. What did I say? Presence is character, and character is discipline, purpose, and motion. No one makes you a leader, you were born one. Let me shock you. Leadership is not a ceremony, it is a discovery. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. Appointments can place you on platforms. Only discovery can place you in purpose. Genesis 1:26 declares that you are made in the image of God, royal by design, steward by assignment. So reduce yourself to your first name and enlarge your obedience to your purpose. Write this down. If you don't know who you are, you will always work for who tells you who you are. Find your gift and serve it. People are not attracted to announcements. They are attracted to fruit. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit. John 15:8. Proverbs 18:16 says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Posters can put your face before men. Only fruit can keep you there. Make a note of this. Leaders do not seek followers. They serve purpose, and people recognize themselves in that service. Stop chasing crowds. Chase your calling. If you run after applause, you will adjust your values to keep it. If you run after assignment, you will attract the right allies without advertisement. Write this down. Identity shapes habits. Habits shape signals. Signals shape influence. If you see yourself as a steward, you will be punctual, orderly, and prepared. If you see yourself as a performer, you will be late, loud, and empty. Luke 16:10 says, he that is faithful in little is faithful also in much. Faithfulness is a habit that writes messages on your body. Your eyes tell the truth. Your hands stay clean. Your walk refuses hurry without purpose. The body always betrays the belief. So fix the belief and your body will get the memo. The only currency of leadership is trust. Not votes, not views, trust. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. Proverbs 22:1. Protect the currency. Discipline yourself to protect trust. Write this down. A leader imposes on themselves the discipline others wish they had. Guard your words so your promises become contracts with your own conscience. It is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. 1 Corinthians 4:2. Keep confidences. Deliver on timelines. Pay your debts. Trust is slow to earn, quick to burn, and expensive to rebuild. Do this today. Craft a single sentence purpose, 12 words or less. Choose 3 daily disciplines that protect trust, time, truth, and temper. Serve your gift for 1 focus hour without seeking applause. Then watch what happens. Your habits will polish your signals. Your signals will broadcast your integrity, and your presence will begin to lead before you speak. Say it with me. I was born for this. I will serve my purpose. I will guard trust. That is the spirit of leadership. Now let's move from spirit to skin, from conscience to carriage. Write this down. The inner governs the outer. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. And Proverbs 15:13 adds, a merry heart makes a cheerful countenance. Your face is the billboard of your beliefs. Your body obeys your convictions. The body always reveals who is boss on the inside. What did I say? The body always reveals who is boss on the inside. Purpose produces peace. Peace produces poise. Poise produces persuasive presence. Let me say it again slowly. Purpose births peace. Peace shapes poise. And poise becomes presence that persuades without a word. Watch yourself in the lobby of your life. Pace reveals authority. The hurried soul is often the ungoverned soul. Rushing is usually the child of confusion. The grounded leader walks with timing, not tension. Breath reveals belief. Panic breath is high and shallow. Purpose breath is low and slow. Gaze reveals government. Shifty eyes preach insecurity. Steady eyes, soft but focused, preach stewardship. Shoulders reveal story. Slumped tells defeat. Lifted like a rooster tells pride. Settled and open tells dignity under assignment. Make a note of this. Control clenches. Service opens. That's a law. Look at your hands. When you are trying to dominate, your fists curl. Your jaw locks. Your shoulders rise to your ears. When you are here to serve, the palms open, the shoulders soften, the jaw releases, the neck lengthens. Even Jesus preached with his posture. He laid aside his garments, knelt and washed feet. John 13, kingship, wearing a towel. That is open authority. Isaiah 30:15 says, in returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. Quietness is not silence, it is centeredness. Strength is not stiffness, it is surrendered stability. Do this today, 2 minutes, and it will change atmospheres. Feet grounded flat on the floor, spine tall as if a string lifts the crown of your head. Inhale through the nose for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale through the mouth for 6. Repeat 5 times. While you breathe, pray. Psalm 46, 10 inches your chest. Be still and know that I am God. On the inhale, your kingdom come. On the hold, your will be done. On the exhale, on earth as in heaven. Philippians 4:7 promises, the peace of God will guard your hearts and minds. Let it also guard your posture. Then go to the mirror. Audit your signals. Practice a half smile of welcome, warmth without performance. Set a neutral chin, not lifted in arrogance, not dropped in shame. Relax the brow, ease the thunder from your forehead. Let the eyes be kind and clear. A soft answer turns away wrath. Proverbs 15:1, a soft face turns away fear. Write this down. Calm is the costume of conviction. From now on, let your body serve your belief. Slow your entrance by 1 beat. Soften your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Widen your peripheral vision so people feel seen. Rule your spirit and your spine will testify. He who rules his spirit is better than he who takes a city. Proverbs 16:32. Say it with me. Purpose in my heart, peace in my breath, poise in my bones. What did I say? The body always reveals who is boss on the inside. Royal dignity is not a performance. It is posture submitted to purpose. Make a note of this. Poise communicates weight without a word. Write this down. Poise is quiet power, no noise needed. We are not teaching peacocks to strut. We are training stewards to carry assignment. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Philippians 4:5. Nearness to the king should soften you, not swell you. Stand like one who serves a throne higher than the room. Spine long, shoulders down and back, chin neutral. Lift by the crown of the head, not by the nose. Confidence without cockiness. Royal without rooster. Hands relaxed and open at your sides or softly joined, not clenched, not flailing. Eyes steady and kind, not piercing to dominate, not darting to seek approval. James 4:6 says, God resists the proud but gives grace to the humble. Posture that attracts grace is better than posture that demands attention. Entry protocol, because rooms read you before you speak. Pause at the threshold. 1 silent count of 2. Scan to serve. Who is underserved? Where is their confusion? What needs order? Enter with a measured pace, not a hurry that says you are late to yourself, not a swagger that says the world is late to you. Micah 6-8 instructs us to walk humbly with your God. Walk humbly, not hurriedly. Humbly, not haughtily. Do this today. Before you cross a doorway, inhale, soften the shoulders, see the people, then step with intention. Seated authority is a sermon. Sit 2/3 back, rooted enough to be stable, forward enough to be attentive. Feet grounded flat, hips open, knees at ease. Avoid crossing in ways that close the body like a barricade. No throne lean. Do not drape yourself like a monarch demanding tribute. No slouch collapse signals. Surrender to fatigue, not service to purpose. Place your hands where they can be seen and still on the table or gently on your lap. Do not exalt yourself in the king's presence. Proverbs 25-6. Take the seat to serve, not the seat to signal status. Jesus said, he who humbles himself will be exalted. Luke 14:11. Let the chair lift you because your spirit is low. Economy of motion guards authority. Fidgeting spends trust in small coins. Clicking pens, tapping feet, constant adjusting. These are apologies the body makes for an anxious soul. Be still. Stillness saves authority. In quietness and trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30-15. Head nods are currency. Spend them deliberately. One slow nod acknowledges presence and grants value. Constant bobbing begs approval. What did I say? One nod honors. Many nods hunger. Kingdom posture carries towels, not thrones. Royal without arrogance. Present without performance. Say it with me. Long spine, low spirit, soft eyes, steady hands. Do this today. Practice a wall stand for 1 minute to find alignment. Rehearse the threshold. Pause in 3 doorways. Sit 2/3 back in your next meeting with feet grounded. Offer one slow nod to affirm. Then listen. Ephesians 4:1 calls us to walk worthy of the calling. Walk it with poise. Your presence will preach before your mouth opens. Poise communicates weight without a word. Now we turn the camera from the frame to the film motion itself. Write this down. Your gait, your hands, and your eyes preach your priorities. Before they hear your values, they feel your vectors. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Psalm 37-23. Steps ordered. Not scattered, not swaggered, ordered. What did I say? The walk first. Purpose has a cadence. Move to an inner metronome, about 80 to 100 beats per minute. Steady, unhurried, alive. No rushing that announces, I am late to myself. No dragging that confesses, I don't want to be here. Heels kiss the ground. They do not stomp it. Toes point where you intend to serve. Feet under hips. Shoulders soft. Crown lifted. Breathe with your stride. 4 steps inhale. 4 steps exhale. So peace escorts you into rooms. Colossians 4:5 says, walk in wisdom toward them that are without. Wisdom has rhythm. Make a note of this. Haste is often the child of confusion. Measured pace is the cousin of mastery. Leaders regulate velocity to protect clarity. Now the hands. Hands are prophecy. They announce your intent before your words arrive. Stop pointing. Pointing is accusation. Open hands are invitation. Isaiah 58:9. If you take away the pointing of the finger, take it away. Present ideas with the whole hand. Palm open, fingers together, so your body says, I offer, not I order. When you must emphasize, rest the thumb lightly on the side of the index finger and lift the hand to chest height precision without poking. Keep motions economical. No flapping, no fidgeting. Psalm 24:4 honors clean hands and a pure heart. Clean hands do not jab, they bless. True leadership is not about control, it is about service. Let your hands carry towels, not tridents. Handshake protocol, because covenants often begin at the wrist. Approach with forearm relaxed, wrist straight, web-to-web contact, 2 respectful pumps, release, not bone-crushing domination, not lymph-fish abdication. Eyes engaged during contact, a micro smile to signal warmth without pandering. Romans 12:10, honor one another. A proper handshake is honor, not theater. What did I say? Web-to-web, 2 pumps, release. Practice until your greeting is consistent, not mood-driven. The eyes, now the lamps of leadership. Jesus taught, the eye is the lamp of the body, Matthew 6:22. Keep 60 to 70% contact to anchor safety. Then look away briefly to reduce pressure. Use the triangular gaze, eye, mouth, so conversation feels natural, not interrogated. Soften with a micro smile. Hardness in the eyes is often fear wearing armor. Leaders scan not to judge, but to serve. John 4:35. Lift up your eyes and look on the fields. They are white for harvest. Lift up your eyes in meetings, corridors, elevators. Who needs a seat? A glass of water, a word of courage. Mark 10:21 says, Jesus, looking at him, loved him. Look to love, then act. Do this today. Enter 3 rooms with open hands, visible and eyes scanning to serve. Walk to your inner 80-100 beat cadence. Greet 2 people with the web-to-web 2 pump. Release handshake while maintaining kind, triangular gaze. Write this down. Your gait tells them why you're here. Your hands tell them how you'll treat them. Your eyes tell them who you see. Lead loudly by these silent sermons. Excellence is not decoration. It is protection. Make a note of this. Excellence silently tells people they are safe with you. Safe from chaos, safe from surprises, safe from your moods. Paul said, let all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. Order is not a preference, it is a principle. Write this down. Excellence is love made visible. Punctuality first. Time is the first test of trust. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says there is a time for every purpose. If there is a time for purpose, then there must be a people on time for purpose. Punctuality is respect made visible. Arrive early. Settle your spirit. Prepare your space. Do not sprint in with apology, breath, and disheveled papers. You just told the room your life is louder than your leadership. When you arrive early, you bring peace with you. You see needs others miss. You pray before pressure speaks. What did I say? Punctuality is respect made visible. Order communicates competence. A clean desk is not vanity, it is velocity. Name folders, minimal clutter, tools at reach. This is love for the people who must depend on you. God is not the author of confusion, 1 Corinthians 14:33. If your workspace looks like a storm, your team will brace for lightning. Reduce your desks to essentials, current work, clear list, 1 pen that works. The rest file it, label it, or release it. Proverbs 27:23 says, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Your flocks today are your files, your finances, your follow-ups. Know their state. Grooming and dress. Hear a father message, not vanity. Fit, clean, appropriate to assignment and culture. Not costume to impress, but clothing to communicate reliability. Shoes polished, nails clean, hair intentional. Ecclesiastes 9:8 says, let your garments always be white. Be ready. Be prepared. Let your attire say, you can trust my stewardship, not look at me. A priest washed before he ministered. Exodus 30:19. You are a steward. Wash your presence before you serve. Scent and cleanliness are quiet kindness. Never announce yourself with odor, pleasant or otherwise. Use restraint, fresh breath, neutral fragrance, clean clothes. People should discern your character, not chase your cloud. Love your neighbor as yourself, Mark 12:31. Includes the air they must breathe. Environment stewardship is daily discipleship. Your car, office, bag, and digital desktop should preach order. The glove box should hold documents, not dead batteries. The trunk should carry tools, not yesterday's regret. Your bag should have what you need placed where you can find it. Cables coiled, chargers present, pens that work on your screen, name folders, version numbers, no blizzard of icons. Unsubscribe, archive, and label. Genesis 2:15. Tend and keep the garden. Your environments are your gardens. Tend them. Do this today. Arrive 10 minutes early. Breathe a prayer. Set the table water. Agenda. Pens that write. Clear your desktop to 1 project. Label 3 folders by name and date. Polish your shoes. Trim your nails. Choose clothing that honors your assignment, not your ego. Carry mints. Retire heavy scents. Empty your car of trash. Coil 1 cable. Remove 10 icons from your desktop. Rename 5 files with clarity. What did I say? Excellence is love made visible, and love creates safety. Do you see a man diligent in his work? He will stand before kings. Proverbs 22:29. Stand there, not with noise, but with order that whispers, you are safe with me. If excellence sets the table, listening serves the meal. Make a note of this. The quietest person often steers the room by how they listen. James 1:19 says, let every person be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Write this down. Talk is cheap. Listening is costly. Talking spends energy. Listening spends ego. True leadership is not about having the last word. It is about hearing the real word. Start with posture, because presence begins in the body. Lean slightly forward, signal engagement, not aggression. Shoulders relaxed, signal safety, not surrender. Chin neutral, neither bowed in shame nor lifted in pride. Sit where you can see all faces. Shepherds see the flock. Keep your phone face down and silent. Do not make an idol of interruptions. Proverbs 20:12 reminds us, the hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord has made them both. Use both. Scan the room to serve, not to spy. Your stillness says you are safe to speak. Write this down. Authority is never in a hurry. Allow a 1-5-second pause before replying. Count softly. 1 and. That breath is a throne. It tells the speaker, your words are weighty. Proverbs 18:13 warns, he who answers a matter before he hears it, it is folly and shame to him. Refuse shame. Let silence do some of the work. Then practice the stewardship phrase. So what I hear is, and summarize in one sentence, not a speech, an echo. Echoes build trust. What did I say? Authority is never in a hurry. Note-taking is covenant, not choreography. Write key words, not paragraphs signal that you will carry what they gave you. Keep your head mostly up. Glance down briefly. Return to eyes. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain. Plain means legible, portable, actionable. 1 page. Date it. 3 bullets. That's it. People relax when your pen tells the truth. Now, the well itself, Proverbs 20:5 declares, counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding draws it out. How do you draw? With questions that honor destiny. Ask them, what is your purpose? What is your passion? What are your principles? Then be quiet. Let the bucket drop. Do not rescue the silence. Let it pull treasure to the surface. Jesus asked far more questions than he answered, because questions confer dignity. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. I sat once in a cabinet room, 11 voices racing, one crisis on the table, everyone selling solutions. I chose a corner seat with a full view, phone face down, pen ready. I waited my 5 seconds, then said, so what I hear is 3 fears and no definition of success. I named the 3 key words they had already said. The room settled. Then I asked, what is our purpose in this meeting? What is our passion at stake? What are our non-negotiable principles? The noise turned into navigation. I did not win the room by volume. The room gave me the wheel because I heard them into clarity. Do this today. Enter your next conversation with lean forward posture, shoulders soft, chin neutral. Choose the seat with full visibility. Turn your phone face down and silent. Take notes and keywords, only 3 bullets max. Pause 1.5 seconds before you speak. Begin with, so what I hear is, and reflect back their words. Ask the 3 purpose questions. Let silence work. Close by naming next steps in a single sentence and send a concise follow-up within 24 hours. What did I say? The quietest person often steers the room by how they listen. Lead loudly by listening well. We have tuned your ears. Now we must strengthen your spine. Make a note of this. The only thing a leader has to work with is trust. Write this down. A leader is measured by what they refuse. Proverbs 25:28 says, like a city broken down and without walls is a man who has no rule over his spirit. Walls are boundaries. Self-government is the loudest leadership language. What did I say? Self-government, loudest language. Master your appetites, food, sex, fame, finance, and screens, so they do not master you. Paul confessed, I discipline my body and bring it into subjection. 1 Corinthians 9:27. Daniel purposed in his heart about his diet. Daniel 1-8, that's food. Fast 1 meal a week to remind your stomach who is king. Learn portions, plan your plate. Gluttony dulls discernment. Sex, flee, don't flirt. 1 Corinthians 6:18. Establish bright lines. Never alone, never after hours, never secrets. If you must explain why the door is closed, open it. Fame refused applause. Addiction. John 3:30, he must increase, I must decrease. Post less, produce more. Finance budget before brunch. Save before style. Pay before praise. Luke 16:11, if you have not been faithful in unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches? Screen set curfews for devices. Sabbath your eyes. Psalm 101:3, I will set no worthless thing before my eyes. Appetites are good servants and cruel kings. Digital discipline, because the internet remembers. Write this down. Delay posting. Draft, sleep, then decide. Zero impulsive comments. If anger is in your fingers, backspace is your friend. Luke 8:17 warns, nothing is hidden that will not be disclosed. No secrets in the dark. No burner accounts. No hidden threads. Keep DMs professional. Keep screenshots in mind. Ask 3 questions before you post. Does it serve my purpose? Does it protect trust? Does it honor my king? If not, delete it. Authority is never in a hurry, not even online. Financial neatness receipts, budgets, integrity. Money is a mirror. It reveals your worship. Keep receipts labeled by date. Balance accounts weekly. 2 eyes on the ledger, yours and an auditor's. 2 Corinthians 8:21. We aim to do what is honorable, not only in the Lord's sight, but also in the sight of men. Pay your taxes on time. No creative accounting. Creativity belongs in products, not in ledgers. Generosity breaks greed. Schedule giving first, not last. What did I say? Money is a mirror. Guard private spaces, doors, passwords, calendars that protect trust. Glass on office doors. Meetings documented, not whispered. Shared calendars with accountability. Travel protocols, no midnight meetings, no unplanned hotel room visits, never just us two in a car without wisdom's witness. Strong passwords, 2-factor authentication, and no private devices for public work. Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart. And today that means guard your access. Woe to the land when appetites rule. Ecclesiastes 10:16 cries, woe to you, O land, when your king is a child, and your princes feast in the morning. Woe to the soul that confuses freedom with indulgence. Galatians 5:13, do not use freedom to indulge the flesh. Write this down. Boundaries are love in advance. Do this today. Set a 2 4-hour posting rule. Fast 1 meal. Build a simple budget and label this week's receipts. Install accountability on your devices. Put glass in your door or keep it open. Block your calendar for rest. Say it with me. I govern me. Because when you govern you, people can trust you, and trust is the only crown that cannot be stolen. Write this down. Kingdom presence is peaceful power, not noise, not nerves, not negotiation with your ego. Peaceful power, because it is authority under assignment, not autonomy in rebellion. Jesus called it a yoke. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart. Matthew 11:29. Gentleness is not weakness. It is authority distributing its weight through submission. What did I say? Authority that is under authority. Our motto is the towel before the throne. Before he took his seat, he took the basin. John 13 says, he laid aside his garments and began to wash the disciples' feet. Write this down. Before you take a seat, take a towel. Greatness in the kingdom is not about height. It is about weight. And weight comes from obedience. Matthew 20:26, whoever would be great among you must be your servant. True leadership is not about control. It is about service. True leaders don't manipulate. They inspire because they are yoked to a higher purpose. The Roman centurion understood this technology of authority. He said to Jesus, I also am a man under authority. Just say the word, Matthew 8-9. Make a note of this. Only those under authority can steward authority. When you stand under, your words carry over. That is why kingdom presence carries gentle strength. It stands under higher authority. Isaiah 32:17 declares, the work of righteousness will be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness and assurance forever. Righteous alignment produces a quiet that can move armies. Now, under what are we submitted? Not moods, not markets, not mobs, under principles. Read together: truth, justice, compassion, excellence. Say it again: truth, justice, compassion, excellence. Proverbs 8:15. By me kings reign. By wisdom, by principle. Titles without principles produce crowned slaves. Principles enthroned inside produce free stewards. Reduce yourself to your first name. Identity before titles. Your name is your covenant, not your costume. When I sit with officials, I ask them to introduce themselves by first name and purpose. Why? Because if your identity needs clothing to be believed, you are naked on the inside. Cultivate atmosphere. Kingdom leaders are thermostats, not thermometers. Prayerful stillness sets the climate. Philippians 4:6-7. In everything by prayer, the peace of God will guard your hearts and minds. Start meetings with gratitude. Thank God aloud for wisdom, for people, for the assignment. Then bless the room, even your opponents. Matthew 5:44. Bless those who curse you. Write this down. Blessing is higher warfare. Your quiet benedictions will break loud hostilities. Authority is never in a hurry. It carries heaven's timetable. Do this today. Before you enter a room, whisper, your kingdom come, your will be done. Touch your wrist as if feeling the yoke. Remind your body you are under assignment. Carry a small towel in your bag for 1 week. Let it preach to your pride. Introduce yourself by first name plus purpose. I'm David. I serve clarity. Open with gratitude. Name 3 graces. Close by blessing an opponent by name in prayer. What did I say? Kingdom presence is peaceful power, gentle strength, standing under higher authority. Now we take this out of the sanctuary and into the corridors of Monday. Write this down. Ordinary spaces are the training ground of extraordinary presence. Jesus said, he who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. Luke 16:10. The least is the hallway, the waiting line, the seat you choose, the tone you carry when no one is watching but God and a janitor. What did I say? Ordinary spaces, extraordinary presence. Meetings first. Arrive early. Early is love. Early is leadership. Walk the room in prayer. Quietly. Bless each chair. Ask the host, what is the purpose, the outcome, the roles? Then take the chair that serves visibility and service, not ego. Not always at the head, sometimes at the hinge where you can see faces and facilitate flow. Luke 14:10, counsels. Take the lower place and let grace lift you. Greet by first name and purpose. Good morning, Aisha. Thank you for bringing data. We will need your eyes today. Set your phone face down. Open your hands. Prepare your pen. James 1:19, swift to hear. Begin with what success looks like today is, and anchor the table to purpose. Authority is never in a hurry. Corridors, preach to. Walk unhurried timing, not tension. See people. Acknowledge security. Cleaners, interns, use their names. Heaven notices. Pick up the straight paper. Straighten a crooked frame. Push in a lonely chair. Leaders leave places better than they found them. Proverbs 3:27 says, do not withhold good when it is in your power to act. Your hand has power, use it. Make a note of this. Kingship is expressed in small repairs. Elevators, those tiny thrones of impatience. Let others exit first. Step to the side. Face the door calmly. Shoulders soft. Reduce chatter. Presence over performance. A nod, a soft. Good morning, one floor at a time. Do not hold the car hostage with your monologue. Let your gentleness be evident to all. Philippians 4:5. Courtesy in close quarters is concentrated leadership. Airports are laboratories of soul. Lines are liturgies. Practice patience. Bless the staff. Thank the TSA by name. They carry strain you cannot see. If possible, carry your own bag, servant sovereignty. Help a parent lift a stroller. Swap seats so a family can sit together. Philippians 2:3-4. In humility, value others above yourselves. Remember, the towel is always in fashion. Matthew 5:41. If anyone compels you to go 1 mile, go with him 2. Go 2 gates in kindness. Conflict moments, hear a father. Lower your voice. Slow your movements. Open your hands. A soft answer turns away wrath. Proverbs 15:1. Ask clarifying questions. So what I hear is, could you help me define success here? What outcome would honor our purpose? Breathe before you speak. Pace is power under control. Camera etiquette. When you speak to a lens, give it your eyes. The lens represents a person God loves. Isaiah 50:7. I set my face like flint, steady, kind, focused. In a room, honor bodies present with your gaze. Do not romance the camera while neglecting the people. One audience at a time. Divided eyes divide trust. Let your yes be yes, clean, brief, sincere. Do this today. In every public space you enter, perform one silent act of service. Hold a door. Pick up trash. Offer your seat. Thank a worker. Carry a bag. Pour water before you pour words. Say it with me. Ordinary spaces are the training ground of extraordinary presence. Lead loudly by what you do when no one expects it. Heaven will amplify the whisper. Public presence is a poor disguise for a private collapse. Write this down. Secret disciplines produce public presence. The body we train in corridors and airports must be carried by a soul that has been crafted at an altar. If you cannot keep an appointment with dawn, you cannot keep an appointment with destiny. Psalm 5:3 says, in the morning I will order my prayer to you and look up. Jesus rose a great while before day, Mark 1:35. Isaiah 50:4 declares, he awakens my ear to listen as one being taught. Morning watch before the emails, before the algorithms, before the applause or the accusations rise. Sit with scripture, sit with silence, sit with your schedule, and align identity, purpose, and plan. Reduce yourself to your first name and declare purpose. I'm David. I serve clarity. Then ask, what is today's assignment? Name it, pray it, plan it. Fast from noise, 1 hour a day without screens. Make a note of this. Silence grows weight. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Put the phone in another room. Set a simple order, 20 minutes to read truth, 20 to sit in stillness, 20 to craft service. In the stillness, your soul settles. In the settle, your presence gains gravity. Haste is a tyrant. Silence is a throne. What did I say? Silence is a throne. Journaling is covenant with your future. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain. Open a page each morning. Date it. At the top, only your first name and your purpose sentence. Then list 3 convictions that will govern you today. Principles, not moods. Finally, write the day's service targets. Who will benefit from your gift before sundown and how? Keep it plain, portable, actionable. Your pen should preach, I will carry what I promise. Matthew 6:6 says, your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. The open reward is weight. And weight is what rooms feel when you enter. Leaders retreat to return. Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Luke 5:16. Schedule weekly solitude. Guard it like payroll. Half a day. No screens. Just scripture, water, a pen, and your honest soul. Ask 3 questions. Where did I drift from purpose? What trust needs repair? What must I stop, start, and continue? Bring your calendar to the mountain. Come down with tablets, decisions engraved. Then re-enter your world like Moses with a glow, not a grind. Schedule integrity is moral integrity with a clock. Let your yes be yes, Matthew 5:37. Ecclesiastes 5:4 warns, when you vow a vow to God, do not delay paying it. Keep promises to your calendar. Your calendar is a contract with your purpose. Block thinking, block rest, block service. Honor each as holy. If you rush what is sacred, you will sabotage what is strategic. Integrity accumulates authority minute by minute. Do not walk alone. Form an accountability circle, 2 or 3, who can question your appetites and your motives. Iron sharpens iron, Proverbs 27-17. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, Proverbs 27-6. Give them permission to ask you at inconvenient times, what are you hiding? Where are you tired? How is your money? How are your eyes? Share your calendar, your budget, your browser reports. Pray with them. Confess to them, James 5:16. Woe to the leader without witnesses. You become a crowned slave to your cravings. Permit a confession. I wrestled with God in the dark and came out with a limp of wisdom. At 3 o'clock one morning, I argued with him about pace, image, and applause. He touched the tendon of my ambition, and I wept. Like Jacob, I limped into daylight, Genesis 32-31, and the limp saved my life. My stride slowed, my presence deepened, my words weighed more because my will weighed less. Make a note of this. The limp is a gift, it reminds you. Who carries you? Do this now. Set tomorrow's alarm for the morning watch. Choose your hour of silence and guard it. Open a journal and write your first name, your purpose, 3 convictions, and 3 service targets. Book your weekly solitude. Text 2 trusted voices to form your circle. Keep 1 promise to your calendar before you sleep. What did I say? Secret disciplines produce public presence. Your Father will see it and the world will feel it. Now hear the closing of the matter. Write this down. Politicians are concerned about the next election. Leaders are concerned about the next generation. Psalm 145-4 says, one generation shall commend your works to another. That is statesmanship, thinking in centuries while acting in seconds. Make a note of this. If your presence cannot be trusted by a child at a table, it should not be trusted by a nation at a podium. Joshua stood before his house and declared, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua 24-15, household first. Model presence at home. Table manners, tone, timeliness. This is leadership school. Arrive to dinner like it is cabinet. On time, eyes present, phone away. Bless the food with gratitude. Ask your children questions that dignify destiny. What is your purpose, your passion, your principles? Laugh without sarcasm. Correct without shaming. Apologize first and fast. Deuteronomy 6-7 commands us to teach. When you sit, when you walk, when you lie down, when you rise. That is rhythm leadership. Write this down. The table is your first parliament. Now to the workplace be the calm in crisis, the order in chaos, the servant in the scramble. Daniel did not panic. He planned and prayed, and kings felt safe around him. Daniel 6, bring quiet eyes and steady hands. Define success in 1 sentence. Serve the team's pressure points without announcement. Do you see a man diligent in his work? He will stand before kings, Proverbs 22-29. What did I say? Let diligence whisper your authority. Community action next. Make an appointment to go and see your mayor, your manager, your school principal. Go as a citizen statesman, not a critic. Ask them the 3 dignity questions. What is your purpose? What is your passion? What are your principles? Then offer your gift without invoice. How can I serve this purpose for 30 days? Proverbs 11:11 says, by the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted. Be that blessing. Now your 30-day plan. Write this down and do it. For 30 days, daily stillness, 15 minutes minimum to anchor under your yoke. Posture, practice, stand, sit, and walk with royal humility. 1 service, act unpaid, unposted, unseen by all but God. 1 appetite refusal, choose 1 craving and say no to it each day. 1 excellence, upgrade, organize, 1 drawer, 1 desk, 1 process, 1 calendar block. 5 quiet bricks each day build a fortress of trust. Identity declaration, say it aloud with me. I am necessary. I am under assignment. I will protect trust. Again, necessary, assigned, discipline. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Here's the conclusion. Fear God and keep His commandments. Authority under authority. Reduce yourself to your first name. Elevate your life to your purpose. I leave you with a testimony charge. Titles are fragile. Testimony is forever. Revelation 12:11 says, they overcame by the word of their testimony. Let your city feel safer because you entered the room. Let your family exhale when your key turns the door. Let your colleagues relax when your calendar appears on the invite. Write this down. True leadership is not about being seen. It is about being felt as safety, service, and purpose. Lead loudly by living quietly. Let your presence become a public good. Now go and multiply your silence into generations.